I'm trying to play this video. I'm not going to go into the mindset of, you're not going to go into the mindset of you're going to steal my husband. So I had to set her straight. So she said, okay, well, that's not for me. I'm going to break up. I'm like, okay, well, don't think you can do that Hollywood thing by yourself. You understand? But have a good life. Then about a month or so, she changed her mind. And she said, oh, month or two. Oh, I really care about him, so I'm going to think about it. I'm like, listen, you can have a relationship or whatever. You can have children, because I can't have no more kids. You can have children or whatever, because we love children. And whatever. It's like a relationship, but I'm number one when he's in my presence. Because I don't want that life. And in that life, you need a partner. Because if you're single, it's either one or two things they're going to call you. Or the gay's going to start saying you're gay. Because, they love saying all these single men and single women is gay. And they don't want to admit it and blah. All kind of bullshit. It's not that he's single and he wants to be single. You understand? There's always some gay preface. You understand? Because they want to, do that bullshit. So he said he has to do it with, he wants to do it as a couple. That's not my life. It's not. Up to this day, we still thinking about it, that he wants me to come out and let everybody know who I am and what title I have or whatever. And it's not really for me. I don't like people in my business. But everybody knows who we are or who we mean, what we mean to each other. They know. But they just don't. They respect us, and they just don't tell the majority of the public who I am. So I can have my separate life. I can have my little personal life. I just like being private. Because I like walking the street without being bombarded, and I just like being on the low. I just don't like, I don't like a whole bunch of people around me every 5 minutes. And once they know who you are, they're around you and they always taking pictures and they doing this and they doing that. I don't like that. I don't like that. So, he does his thing, I do my thing. But everybody know that we're a couple. Everybody know that that's my husband. Well, everybody in the industry, they know that's my husband. So, so that's how we did that. So, no, we never had a threesome. But if we do, if I ask, he always said, no, that's not him. What he said in patois or something. Anyway, he said no. But I'm allowed to, I'm allowed to date. But that threesome with him there, no. So, my fantasy is shot to hell. My fantasy is shot to hell. But, you never know. It may bring you and your mate closer, your wife closer. If you bring it up, say, okay, well, if I have my little side piece, do you want me to have a regular side piece, or do you want me to bop around? Because it's a catch-22, because if you have a regular side piece, you may fall for that person. You may fall in love with that person. But then when you bop around, you got to always wear your Jimmy hat. Always. You understand? Because you're meeting different girls. Everybody look like an angel. You understand? You don't know. But if you put it to your wife and say, okay, I love you. I don't want to give you up. We're having problems right now. Um, I'll allow you to date if you allow me to date, and nobody else but you and I know. But meanwhile, your homeboys know, because you already had your side piece. But your wife is home twiddling her thumbs, thinking that, she don't want to step out the marriage. But then you and her is having problems. You understand? You and her is having problems because something is going wrong. She may not have an inkling that you got a side chick or whatever, but something's going on in the relationship. You understand? And then maybe later it's going to come up that she found out or whatever the case may be. Something else turned to something else, and while she was poking around, she found, So instead of opening it up, instead of hiding it, just ask her. Think about it, because most men, they don't want to share their woman, because women have sex with their heart for the most part. When they lay down with a man, it's because they like that guy. For the most part. And men are afraid of losing their wife's heart, because that guy may do something, not sexually, but that guy may do something to his wife that she may never come back from. Here go my side piece. You understand? I told my husband I'm not giving him up, because he won't leave me alone, to be honest with you. He won't leave me alone. And you can open up that relationship to a whole new, different outlet. How would you feel? Would you be jealous if you gave your wife permission to see another guy? What would be the boundaries? Not to have a relationship, it's only sex, or you can't see the same guy all the time, or you get a professional. What would be your rules in order for your wife to join in this threesome thing that you guys are signing up for? What would you want? Would you want her to see a regular guy? Would you want her to see a professional guy who only provides sex and stuff? Professional. You know what I mean by professional. And would not have any feelings for. It's only sex and conversation and stuff like that. Would you prefer her to bop around with different guys because you don't want her to fall in love with the next guy? What would be your rules and regulations for your wife to step out of the marriage? And only you and her know. And your homeboys. And maybe one of her best friends. You understand? Because, she's not gonna tell everybody, and I'm sure you're not, only your close friends know. But guys are used to seeing guys with other women, so they know how to keep everything on the low. But and I'm sure as a man, you're not telling nobody outside of your marriage. Yeah, because a lot of men is not gonna understand. How can you give your wife permission to sleep with another man? What? And then they're gonna be like, what are you lacking? Then they're gonna go to dick size and all that stupid shit. They're not gonna go into grown-up shit. They're not gonna say, well, we're both grown now, and we're both busy, or we may need some kind of pick me up in our bedroom. You understand? Or we love each other. We don't want to leave each other, but we want to venture out and see what's out there sexually. And the only problems you're having in your marriage is sex. Because after a while, the woman may get stagnant. She may do the same moves or whatever. Or if she doesn't change up herself all the time, because when I was into myself, I would change up all the time. These jealous women be like, pick something. Like they tell me, pick a job. Pick something. Every time I see you, you look different. I'm like, good. I said, that's good for my marriage. That's good for my relationship. Because every time my man sees me, he sees a different woman. That gets his dick up. Men are visual. So maybe he was getting tired of seeing me all the time, you understand, looking the same way. So I have to change up, change the wig, change the clothes, change the makeup. Excuse me. You understand? So when she was complaining, I'm like, good. First of all, I said she was a hater. You understand? Because you're watching me too hard. You understand? And you don't understand the concept of keeping your man's eyes excited. You don't. So I can imagine what your marriage is like. You understand? If you get too comfortable around your man, he start wandering. But if you always keep that sexual note in your relationship, he looks, but he don't wander. Because it's just natural for a man to look at another woman that's sexy walking down the street. And it's natural for a woman to look at another man. You understand? But the woman do it differently. The woman is not going to outright. You understand? The woman look with her eyes. Her eyes move, not her whole head. The man, the head. Women, eyes. It's not that she want to leave her husband for this sexy guy that's walking across the street. It's just that, oh, he's striking. He's sexy to her. She's not plotting, oh, I'm going to leave my husband for this sexy guy. She don't know the guy. She just sees something that stimulate her or him. And then when they go home, she's going to show it to her husband. That's why they have strip clubs for all you prude women out there. Strip clubs are to provide the stuff that you can't do, meaning visual. She has a sexy body. She has sexy moves. Turning your man on for you. So when he walked through that door and you're dressed like me with a cap on and a sweater looking unsatiable, unsexy, his dick is hard. And he wants to let out steam somehow. So you go in the bathroom, take your shower, blah, 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 boom. In bed, he's already hard. You have sex. You make love. That's what strip clubs are for, ladies and gentlemen. For all you prude women out there. I'm not saying for the men, because some men are stupid. They go in there and spend all their money that they don't have on these strippers and stuff like that. But strip clubs provide a service of arousing your mate. That's what strip clubs are for. So when you hear your guy going to a strip club, you give him a couple of dollars and let him go. Stop being so insecure. It's very minute that a man falls in love with a stripper. You understand? Very minute percentage. So go. She's going to get her little change. He's going to get his dick hard. When he comes home, he's having sex with you. Unless it's some dirty man, he pull out his dick while she's giving him a lap job and all that stuff, and you want to fuck her raw dog. You understand? Or some come prepared, they condom already on. You understand? It depends. But most men, when they do, they go in a hotel somewhere. They ask the girl to meet them, the stripper to meet them. And there are some strippers who do after-work activities for some money. You saw that movie with Lisa Ray. You see how it get down. I forget the name of the movie. So strip clubs provide a service. And the strip club's job is to do all the stuff that you can't do, but turn on your man. So when he come home with his dick hard, don't argue with him. Jump on it. Don't argue, all you insecure women. Do not argue that your man, some women did most of the work for you. Don't argue about that. Don't argue about that. You should be giving him a couple of more dollars to give her. She's providing a service. Cause you know how hard it is to get your man dick up. Yeah, you dress like a frau all the time when he walked through the door, and you arguing. It's hard for him to get his dick up. So when he walked through the door and you dress like whatever, and he turned on, take advantage of that. If you're having a problem in your marriage, or he wants too many sex and that's the problem, too much sex and that's the problem, or he's not having sex with you and that's the problem, or you can't dress up sexy all the time, because most normal women can't. You get up, you got the kids, you got a house to clean, you got to do this, you got to do that. You don't got time, like me with this thing. Eventually I want to dress up, put on the makeup, do the thing, but do the eyelashes and the makeup and stuff. I should. People be like, why don't you take more, not people, but me. Why don't you take more pride in the way you look, how you present yourself to people? And I think about that. And I will. I have problem putting on my lashes. And that's the biggest thing. I like lashes on, because lashes give you appearance. Then I have to do my eyelashes, my eyebrows, excuse me. Then I gotta put up my little bit of makeup and my lipstick and things like that. And I gotta shave my hair down. Then if I don't want to shave it down, I gotta color it blonde. It's a lot of work for somebody who's, just going through it with my sickness and stuff, Sometimes I don't get the energy, so that's why I go bald. So for now, instead of me going blonde, I'm gonna go bald and still wear my makeup and do the Jada Pinkett thing. I wear my makeup, fix my eyebrows, and so you can see one time out of one of these podcasts what I'm gonna look like. What I'm gonna look like, looking cute. Because even though I don't really care what people say about me, because I've never been the one that cared what people say, I do have to I do have to put more effort into stuff, into my appearance. I do. I do have to put in more effort with my appearance, and thing came on. I do have to put more effort into my appearance, and so you can see what he sees in me or what they see in me. You understand? But to keep your marriage together, you gotta venture out. You can't think of the old way. Some marriages work the old-fashioned way, and I thought that's how I was gonna be. I always thought I would have a marriage old-fashioned way, him for me for him, and we die together, and we have our kids, and blah blah blah, and that's it. We're gonna die, just him and I. But I've always been an adventurous person. I've always been wanting to have great sex and good sex, and I always wanted to have a good relationship, so sometimes when you want to have good sex or whatever, that's a big priority for me, sex, because when I was younger, I was more into the church and stuff like that. Not saying that I'm not now. I am into, God and whatever the case may be, but Christians need sex too. You understand? And I just want to have a great relationship and great sex life. So sometimes it means doing other things other than one position or two positions. So as I started getting older, I just started doing different positions, doing different techniques, watching other things, venturing out to, different places, S&M clubs, strip clubs, whatever the case may be. So I can see or watch certain kind of movies or whatever. So I can see what the expression is on certain men's face, and then hear them talk about what turns them on, what don't turn them on, and that's just me. I want to have a good sex life. I don't want to have a boring sex life, and I don't want to have bad sex. I don't. So I venture out, and we talk about what we want openly. I ask him what he wants. He asks me what I want, or whatever the case may be, and he understands his schedule, and I understand his schedule. But we're not leaving each other because we love each other. We do. To some people, they think that we don't, but we do love each other. But I want him to fulfill his dream, and he wants me to fulfill mine, whatever that may be. We're not being selfish with each other. And if nobody else understands our relationship, at least him and I understand it. And we don't have to explain ourselves to other people about why we do this and why we do that. He's happy, I'm happy. That's all that matters. Your opinion really don't matter to me. His happiness is my happiness. I'm not losing my husband for you. And I'm not doing it to keep him. I'm doing it because our schedules are different and our lives are different now that we're older. So it's not a desperation move to allow him to do certain things. It's not desperate. I've never been a desperate woman, even though the other women would always try to make me feel like that, because she wants me to leave my husband so she can have him, or my boyfriend so she can have him. She want to play with my self-esteem. Oh, you don't. That's the pull that a lot of these women who's desperate to steal your man. That's what they do. They play on your self-esteem. If I was you, your husband cheating and he this and he and you can't please, and I'm like, okay, if I can't please him, you can't. He don't want you. I bet you if I tell him to leave you, he'll leave you. And don't put it to the test, because he will. You understand? And they try to make you as the wife feel insecure, because they can't understand what they see, what your husband see in you, because they're the brand new car. Everything's all shiny. Everything's in place. Everything's up. The bosom's up. The butt's up. Everything is thin and thick, and but the attitudes suck. You understand? And he already made it, so he don't know if you want him for his money, or if you really like him. So he love his wife, and they're gonna work it out. You're not getting him. If I'm being real, some chicks, they feel like they come with a fat ass and a sexy body and a sweet talk. Men like that, especially men with money, they hear all that shit every day. Oh, I'm not like that. I don't want you for your money. Oh, I don't want you for this. I love you for you. Of course you do. Let his brother Joe Smo come talk to you, and he ain't got shit. He's just the roadie for the brother who's the big star. And they twins or something. You wouldn't date the brother. You want the man with the money. But that man with the money got a wife. He got a steady girlfriend. So you can't have him. He can play with you for a little bit. And if you have a long-term play session, fine. But once you step out of line and you want to put in demands, he's going to be like, okay, I told you at the beginning I had a wife. And you're going to be pouting, well, you told me you was going to leave her and you love me more. Why? Because you trying to get into that will and you trying to get his check. I seen somebody pull that off. She badgered her husband over and over and over, because he had an ironclad will. Potomac. He had an ironclad will. And she badgered that man about having a kid, because something was in the prenup if you have a child or something. So she wanted to lock that in. You hear me? And as soon as she locked it in, all hell broke loose. She found all kinds of faults. I think now they have 2 kids. She found all kinds of faults and whatever, and I think they're getting a divorce or something. Because she's already in the will. She already locked in. Because the will says something about, I can't remember. I don't want to say. Yeah, but he had an ironclad will. He's an older man. He was an older man, older white man, and she was a younger black girl. I'm not saying she didn't love him, but she wasn't secure in the marriage because that will said that she had to wait a long time to get any kind of decent money. And but if such and such happens before such and such, then she would get such and such. She worked that will, boy. She badgered that man. Badgered. Oh, I want a kid. Oh, can you redo the will? Can you do this? Over and fucking over and over and over for what, years, not months, years. She badgered that man. Finally, he said okay. Then she got pregnant, then he said okay. Then I stopped watching the show, but then I heard they had another kid, and then now I heard that all kinds of stuff is coming out. He's wearing skirts, he's doing this, he's doing that, and she's finding all kinds of fault. Not even 5 years after the new will is signed. I said, girl, you a plotter. You just go in. But she did love her husband though. She did love him, but she wanted that security check. She wanted to make sure she was getting something to take care of herself. Because Portia had to walk away from her husband with nothing. That's why Portia bed hopping now. She trying to get into somebody. She trying to get that money that she left with her first husband. But what's her name? Oh my God. She got in it. She got in that thing, that post-nup. She badgered that man to death, you hear me? And finally he gave in. But she got in. But she loved him, She loved him. So, because it seemed they had a little arrangement that she didn't want the world to know. You understand? Yeah, because, if you have kinks in your relationship, work it out together. If he wants to be with other women and not say anything to your friends or whatever, do that. It's up to you. It's up to you. Some people want to die with just one partner or whatever. And like I said, that was me a couple of years ago. That was me. One man and one woman. That's it. But as time goes on and being out in the world and he's hardly home, we had to come to some sort of agreement. And that's it. We did. So how would you work it out in your relationship? I'm just saying. I think you should talk to your wife about your wife having another man. Because it's selfish that, she's always bringing in a woman into the relationship for you. And, she's happy because you're happy, but she's not happy because she's not satisfied. She wants to see what it's like stepping out of the marriage legally, meaning that you know about it. So try it. And you never know. He might do for you what the other woman's doing for her, relieve you from having to perform all the time or do whatever and always come up with ideas and things like that. You never know. It doesn't have to be the same person all the time. It could be a different person all the time. Sit down and discuss it. Sit down and discuss what you want in your relationship. And believe me, it's going to be much better when you're happy with your side piece and she's happy with her side piece. And both of the side pieces know that each one of you is the main. That has to be structured right off the bat. But don't be so selfish as only allowing a woman into the relationship for you. Be unselfish and afford your wife another partner besides another woman that you want. And if you don't want to be in the room, like I said, you can you know, but at least you know about it. Because maybe you're in a relationship that you always have to travel, and maybe she have to call in a professional once in a while. Be open to that. Be open to that. Don't keep going behind each other's backs and do stuff. Be open. Both of you are adults, and you have to work on your jealousy. You want her to work on her jealousy. Why not you? Anyway, thank you for coming to my podcast, and I really do appreciate everybody. Click like, click share, please be a follower. I'm on YouTube at Boss Lady Sugarheads. Watch all my videos on there. And subscribe, please subscribe. I'm trying to get a build up on my subscriber, on my followers. Thank you so much. Have a good day.